So I know being a single mom is not easy. You are in a relationship with someone, you are in love, you end up getting pregnant, end up having a baby, and you think y'all are going to be together forever. You're like, okay, the baby came before the marriage. It's fine. We're going to get married one day. And then up and Adam out of nowhere, the relationship is over and he's moved on. You're left taking care of the kids and you're frustrated and you're upset and you're angry and all the things. I'm going to need women to heal and get over that. And that is what we're going to be talking about today. Because recently I came across a video of a woman after her ex dropped her child off to her. And dare I say, the behavior was deplorable. I want y'all to see, and then we're going to get into the conversation, what this woman did regarding her daughter and hear what was transpiring. Yes, there may be some language because the behavior, like I said, was deplorable. So I'm going to share my screen with y'all so that y'all can get a chance to see what I experienced and feel what I was feeling. And then we're going to go over this. So here we go.
My baby sitting about this bitch crying. I don't care. I told you stop playing. This motherfucker cut my baby hair out of here. Look at that shit. That shit sad. Hurt my baby feeling. Now wait. Cause you don't hurt the dad. You hurt her feelings. You hurt my baby feelings. My baby sat there for 2 hours. My baby sat there for 2 hours. My baby sitting about this bitch crying. I don't care. I told you stop playing. This motherfucker cut my baby hair out of here.
I have no words. I have no words. Y'all saw that little girl had to be between the ages of maybe 4 and 6. The father brought home his little girl. Apparently, the little girl spent time like when you co-parent. One parent gets the child at one point in time. The next time the other parent has a child, and the father brought his daughter home. As you can see, her hair was nicely braided, had the beads in her hair. She looked absolutely adorable. But the mom could not leave well enough alone and grabbed scissors and began to cut the braids out of the little girl's hair. Now, why I wanted to talk about this, because this is what I'm talking about being deplorable. This is rooted in bitterness and brokenness and jealousy. And that's what this woman was dealing with. Jealousy blinds us and we don't realize that, and often causes us to hurt the very ones we say that we love. Because I'm sure she will say, I love my baby girl. That's my daughter. I love her. But that behavior did not seem like that. What do you think that little girl was going to remember? Because again, those are core images that are being made right then and there. And all she can remember is that her daddy brought her home after her hair is being done and her hair looks so cute. She probably was excited because I know little girls at that age, when their hair get braided and they get those cute little beads, they love shaking their head. And all she can remember is her mom grabbing some scissors and cutting it out of her hair. And understand, this wasn't about the hair. I know people are like, it's about the hair. It is not about the hair. It's about insecurity, control, and resentment. And that's what that was about. That's why you heard her yelling, I don't care, I don't care. Because she really did not care. All she cared about is that she was getting back at the father. And you don't understand, the children become casualties when parents battle each other. And this is the problem. I can say that the beauty in, as y'all know, I'm a single mom. I co-parented very well, very, very well, because it's not about me. It's not about him. It's about the children. When we go over to, let me share some verses with you because I need y'all to understand something. When we look at James 3:16, it says, for where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder in every vile practice. That is what we just saw there. There was jealousy, there was selfishness, and she decided to take some scissors to her baby's head, to her little girl's head. And like I said, that child will remember that and cut the hair out of her head. In Ephesians 4:31, it says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, and anger, brawling and slander, along with every form of malice. Because why? Why did you need to do that? Why did you need to be in that space? And I have an issue a lot with women that behave in that manner. The thing is, the reason why we've gotten to this point is because we left God's order for the family alone. And people don't realize that. Because this chaos stems from us living out of what God said. God planned for one man, one woman, joined in marriage, raising children together under his authority. That's what he called it for. But when we decided we were going to step outside of his order and decided we were going to do what we wanted to do, premarital sex, divorce, or broken households, we see confusion and pain. And that's what that poor little girl was going through. She was hurt. And the both of them are around there, they're cussing each other out in front of the baby. Like, what was really happening? In Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, it says, therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and hold fast to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. That is what it's supposed to be. That is the order of God. But we've all left that. We decided we're going to do our own thing because we know better. We know better. We know better than our creator. The creations know better than the creator. You see how that works? You see how ludicrous that sounds? God hates divorce because it covers one garment with violence. Children often wear that by violence emotionally. That's Malachi 2:16. So understand that the children are the ones that feel it. And if you don't stop and think about the children, because in this instance, you saw this woman did not care about her children. She did not care. Her only focus was trying to show up her ex. She couldn't be bothered how her daughter felt in that moment. She didn't care. And her child is feeling it. Understand that our God is a God not of confusion, but of peace. And that's in 1 Corinthians 14:33. This is why we have the Holy Bible. Because if we follow what the Holy Bible says, do you know how much heartache, how much pain, how much confusion, how much chaos we would avoid if we actually focus on what the word of the Lord says? Do you understand that? But this woman, nope, not at all. And this is the thing that happens because there's danger in anger and bitterness. The woman wasn't disciplining that little girl. This was just out of destruction, out of anger, and out of bitterness. And I see a lot of women doing that, using their kids as pawns. You can't see your child. I need more money. You can't see your child. They use their child as a pawn in this situation. Again, what are you teaching future generations? What are you teaching your children? I can say, regardless of however I felt regarding my ex, is in the children, the father of my children. Never, never. I never spoke bad. I never put them down. I never said anything negative. Any conclusion that your child comes up with is up to you, because I'm giving you a clean slate, a fair shake for you to be a father to your children. That is what it's about. Co-parenting, raising your child correctly. Anger turns into sin, and jealousy, it turns into cruelty. And we have to remember that. When we parent from pain, we plant seeds of trauma, and people don't realize that. Children remember. There are things that I remember. I still remember sitting outside my house with my Tweety Bird blow up balloon in my little chair. If you all see the picture, I could not be more than like 4, 5 of that age. Children remember. When we look at Ephesians, it says that fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. That's found in Ephesians 6:4. That is not just to men, that is to women too. Do not provoke your children to anger. When you walk in a space of bitterness and jealousy and insecurity, you are training your children up in that mindset. They're walking in anger. There are a lot of children that have disdain for their other parent because of what the mother did. That's, again, this is what you're putting on your children, and you're not recognizing it. In Proverbs 14:1, it says, the wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. Understand the trauma that you are putting in these children when you operate from that space. The relationship is over. The relationship is over. There are more fish in the sea. Seek God's face and he will direct your path. But taking out your anger and your jealousy in that space and confusing your children is not healthy. It is not. Understand, co-parenting is not easy. I know that, especially when emotions run high, but the child must remain the priority. And that's what I want each and every one of you to understand. Children must remain the authority, the priority. That's it. It's no longer about you. You don't matter. When you have children, you do not matter. You don't have to like your ex. You and your ex don't have to be best friends. Y'all don't have to be skipping through the lilies together, but you must honor your child's need for stability. Even if you're no longer together, you still have to give your children stability. And that is what they need, because that's a structure that would help them to grow properly instead of being confused. It takes humility, forgiveness, and prayer to be able to operate in that space. So if you're going through this, like I said, I went through it. I definitely went through it. Number one, don't compete with the new woman. There's no reason to compete with the new woman. Show respect. If she treats your child with love, that is a blessing. That's what we have to remember. Because again, it's about the children. It's not about your feelings. It's not about her feelings. It's not about his feelings. It's about your children. Giving them a safe space. Another thing I'll say is don't let your hurt bleed onto your children. I always say that because I was never going to be arguing and screaming and all that in front of my children. I was not going to subject them to that. I was not going to talk bad about their father to them, because that is still their parent. They still love their parent. Stop destroying that, because in the end, they will resent you. When they find out the truth, they will resent you. Remember that. You can set boundaries. Please believe you can set boundaries, but don't weaponize your child. Do not do that. And in it all, that is why we have God. Pray for your ex, his household, and your child's well-being, because again, you have to share that child. You have to raise that child. You got to co-parent. So keep your ex lifted. Keep his household lifted. Why? Because you want to make sure your children are still being raised in the fear and the admonition of the Lord. Understand, when you're going through this, like when I went through the hurt, heartache, whatever it may be, the healing began when I surrendered to God. Stop trying to figure out if you withhold your child, if your ex will come back. He's not. And in fact, stop looking at it like that and look at it as God saying, I have something better for you. This was your season. Your season's over. You decided to step out of God's order and you got into this space. Now you're a parent and you're co-parenting with someone else. But God is saying, I got something better for you. So stop fighting it. Surrender everything to God. Give it to him. We can break the generational cycles of bitterness by choosing forgiveness and walking in love. And that's what we're supposed to do. When we look at Matthew chapter 6, verse 14, it says, For if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. Please understand that you can't ask for forgiveness and you still walking around with bitterness and unforgiveness for someone else. You can't. You can't. Let it go. Again, you are poisoning your children with that behavior. Let it go. I need y'all to understand that at the end of the day, let us focus on God's order of doing things. If we do it the correct way, then we'll be in a better space. God will be in the middle to bless that relationship. God will be in the middle of you raising your child. Stop running out and doing what the world tells you to do. The world gets you in trouble. The king of the God of this world is the author of confusion. Okay? Let's stop listening to him. Do it the way that God says to do it. And if we do that, then we'll be in a better place. And if for some weird reason you have come out of what God has called us to do, again, let it go. Do not carry that unforgiveness. Do not carry that pain. Do not let it go. Give your children a stable home. Co-parent correctly. As it says in Romans 12 and 18, if it is possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone. With everyone. Do not carry these things around because all you're doing is you're hurting your children. And it is not right for you to be doing that to your children. You want to give your children the best foot forward in life. That's what you want to do. Even if the relationship is broken, you want to give them the best foot forward. So that is what I have for you guys today on that specific subject. Please go ahead, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell on all so you know when I'm dropping videos, when I'm going live. I'm going to be starting to go live here on YouTube during the week between 3 and 7. Still figuring that out, and I will let y'all know. But as long as you have on that notification bell on all, you'll know when I go live. Please drop in the comments and let me know how you feel. Do you agree with the behavior of the woman? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Do you agree that you see people using their kids as pawns and knowing that that is ridiculous? They're not supposed to be used as that. They are your treasures. They are the future. And we are supposed to give them our generational wealth, not generational curses. Thank you all for joining Crystal Beyond Labels. And I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Love you all.